Hi, my name is Bee Vang-Moua, and I'm the director as well as an instructor for Hmong language program at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. And on top of that, I'm also a cultural liaison as well as a interpreter translator for the community. And I also do a lot of consultation work in language and cultural presentations or whatnot. Well, the Hmong language is very much an agricultural language, a music, a poetic language. So with it being, plucked from its natural environment of, in the hills and agricultural community and plucked, put right here in the United States of America, we are running into a lot of new vocabulary that must be made or new terminologies that we've yet to be introduced to, such as the legal terminologies, medical terminologies, many of which we do have, but there are many of which we do not yet have. So some of the problems is just really formalization, standardization of vocabularies that in English may be everyday use, but perhaps in Hmong is quite complex. And oftentimes we end up explaining versus using one word to talk about what it is. In the short time frame that I've worked with Phrazer, I've found it to be very beneficial already, not only with just language, but in standardization of medical terminologies or medical language, which it's helping to do. It's playing such a large role in, and will continue to be so important. But also just in the general community. For example, there's many words in the sentences, such as we're talking about shapes like triangles, square, circle. And we had to, as linguists, really work together to say, how should we say these shapes? That will be a standard way, because Hmong Minnesotans perhaps will say it differently. The Hmong in California might say circle differently or rectangle differently. And not just nationally here in the US, but the Hmong in Laos, the Hmong in Thailand, Germany, Argentina, in China, all over the world, different groups might say this one shape, triangle, in so many different ways. So what Phrazer is helping do is standardize that piece. And aside from just helping with medical terminologies, it's going to help in so many different areas as well. Just this example of the shapes. In academic vocabulary, when we're working with the K-12 students, they need a standard vocabulary for shapes, circles, triangles, rectangles, whatnot. And this will also help them in that field as well. So standardization all across, culturally as far as vocabularies to help students as well as in the medical terminologies. Another word that's really helping, for example, is when we say the main idea. Hmong is seen as a very patrilineal, male-dominated community, but it's not so. For example, when we say main idea, the word for main is nia, and nia means the mother. So the mother idea. Different things like this is reflected and used in Phrazer and will also help in the understanding of culture as well and kind of bridging that gap in understanding of culture and really seeing how Hmong language can be standardized as well as understood just by this one product that's being used. I am just very excited to be a part of Phrazer, and I'm so excited for what Phrazer is going to do for the community at large, and I can't wait to see the effects that it will have, the positive effects that it will have on the community, not just for the Hmong community, but for all the communities that Phrazer will touch and have a piece in. Not just the standardization piece, but the culture piece, really bridging the gap and making our community as one. So I'm very excited to be a part of this, and I can't wait.